Let's explore different ways to create, save, and organize files on a computer. Let's review Krista's situation. Krista is a 42-year-old Ethiopian woman who just moved to Texas. She is the mother of 2 children and is recently divorced, so she needs to earn a living to support her 2 kids. She did some data entry for her sister's company a few years ago, but doesn't really know where to start in her job search. Krista wants to apply for a job at a new AdultEdMed hospital. She knows that she will need saved files in her resume and photo ID. She previously created her resume online using Google Docs. Now, she wants to know how she can save these files on her computer. Krista hasn't used a computer much, so she's still new to finding files she downloaded or saved. Do you have any experience with this? How do you save and organize your work on a computer? First, we're going to review basic computer use. For some of you, this may be a review, but for others, this might be brand new. When talking about computers, the word desktop can mean different things. A desktop computer is one that is meant to sit on top of your desk, rather than being carried like a laptop. It usually has more speed and storage space. The desktop is also what we call the first screen you see when loading any computer. It usually has several small images called icons, a toolbar for starting tasks on the computer, and a decorative background known as wallpaper. There will also be a section where you can view system information like the date and time. While we look at a Windows 10 desktop, let's focus on the icons and toolbar. An icon can represent a program, a shortcut, or a file. When we create documents or other work on the computer, the work is called a file. There are 2 Excel spreadsheets saved on the desktop. Can you point out where they are? Icons that represent files will have the program logo, but also look like a small page. Ideally, we won't be saving too many files on our desktop. If we do, we will fill up the screen and it will become hard to find a specific file. The toolbar at the bottom is called the taskbar in Windows. It has 2 useful tools for managing our work. The search box near the Windows button can help us search for files or programs, and the Windows File Explorer can help us organize our files. The icon for this tool is usually pinned to the taskbar. It looks like a folder. We can compare a computer to a physical desk, which can have files, photos, and images that we are using on top. We might also have tools out, like a calculator or a ruler. When we aren't using our tools or documents, we might put them away inside folders in the desk drawers. A computer, too, has a storage system. Let's take a look at the File Explorer. The File Explorer shows us different locations where the files can be saved inside our computer, including the desktop. When we download a file or photo, it will usually be found in the Downloads folder by default. When we save a document made in the computer, the default location is the Documents folder. The File menu has tools to help us make new folders and copy or move files from one location to another. If we need help finding a file, we can use the built-in search bar. Let's start creating and organizing files. Krista made her resume using an online app, but your computer has at least one built-in program for writing. These kinds of programs are called word processors. Examples of word processing programs include Word, WordPad, Pages, and Notepad. Let's try by searching our computers for one of these programs. Then click on the search result to open it. WordPad and Notepad automatically open to a new blank page, but Word and Pages give you a choice of templates. These are pre-designed documents to help you get started. If you are using Word or Pages, click on the blank document to start with a blank page. Let's click on the blank page and type the word test so that we have some work to save on the computer as an example. When you're ready to save your work, look for the File menu. Most programs have the Save option under the File menu. After you click on the File menu, there are two choices, Save and Save As. If this is your first time saving this document, choose the Save As. This will allow you to name the file and choose a storage location in the computer. Remember, the default location is the Documents folder, but you can choose to save the file in any location. The Save As window looks different depending on the program, but it generally has 4 parts. Save location. This should be the Documents folder. File name. We can choose a name for the file so that we can easily find it later. Let's use Test as the file name for this example. Choose a file format. Not all programs can read all formats. The best choice is Rich Text Format or RTF. Any word processing program can read these types of files. Click on the Save button to finish and close the program. When we aren't connected to the internet, we can use the process to write and save our work offline. For example, Krista could create her cover letter using a word processing program like WordPad and save it to her computer. When she needs it later on, she can send it by email or print it out. We'll use the file I created to demonstrate how to use the File Explorer. If I keep saving documents in the same folder, it soon becomes difficult to find my work quickly. The solution is to create folders inside the Documents folder. Click on the Home menu to see your tools. From here, we can create a new folder. We can also see tools to copy or move files to other folders. The easiest way to move files into folders is to actually click and drag the file into a folder. To do this, click on the mouse button while you click on the file you want to move. Continue holding down the mouse button while dragging the mouse in the direction of the folder. When the file is over the folder, let go of the mouse button. Or you can use the copy and paste commands from the Home menu. This works just like copy and paste tools in a document. File Explorer tools can also be accessed from the right-click menu. Right-click a blank area in the window to access common tools. Find the New Folder options. If we right-click a file, we can access Cut, Paste, Move commands from here too. Remember that Krista already made a resume using Google Docs. She can bring that file from the internet into her computer. We call this downloading a file. She can then save it for later or send it as an email attachment. To download a file, we need to access its online location first. Then, find a button or option to download. For Google Files, click the File menu. Choose Download and then a file format. Your internet browser might let you choose a file location, but if it doesn't, your downloaded file will appear in the Downloads folder. We'll run through an example of how this works with Google Chrome. Let's walk through downloading Krista's resume using Google Chrome. If you want to try this exercise later, use Google Chrome if possible. Otherwise, the steps might look a little different. First, we'll access the online resume by going to Krista's resume at the website you see. Then click the File menu and choose Download. Choose a file format. For this exercise, let's use Rich Text Format. Google Chrome puts downloaded files in your computer's Downloads folder. Let's find this file. Open the File Explorer on the left side of the window. Notice the navigation pane. Find and click the Downloads folder. Files in the Downloads folder are displayed in the main window. Look at the file name Krista Functional Resume. If you still have difficulty finding the file, try using the File Explorer's search bar. Remember, too many files in one place make it difficult to find a specific file. We need to create folders to organize our work. For your guided practice activity, you will need to download and organize Krista's job search files. You may want to pause the video as you follow along. Access and download Krista's cover letter at the link you see here. Open the File Explorer and create a folder for job search files. Name it Job Search. Move Krista's resume and cover letter into the job search file. As an optional practice, we can transfer a photo of an object from a phone to a computer. Krista needs to save a photo of her ID, but you can choose any object and take a picture of it for practice. First, take a photo of any object. Connect your phone to your computer using the phone's USB cable. Open the File Explorer and find your phone on the list of computer locations to the left. Right-click on the image, then use the Copy command. Move to the Job Search folder by clicking Documents. Then double-clicking the Job Search folder. Right-click the blank space and choose Paste from the menu. This pastes a copy of the image in the Job Search folder. The original image is still on your phone. Now you know how to transfer any file from one location to another. If you'd like to review how to save files, go to the Saving and Sharing Documents tutorial at the link you see here. For more information using Windows or Mac operating systems and moving files, go to the tutorial titled Getting to Know the OS at the link you see here. It's time to gather and organize your own job search files. If you haven't already, download or begin your resume and cover letter drafts. Save your work before continuing this exercise. When you are ready, follow these instructions. Open your File Explorer to the Documents folder or choose an external drive like a phone or USB stick. Create a folder to use for future job application files. Name it Application Files. Move your resume and cover letter files to this folder. Practice moving the files 2 to 3 times or until you feel comfortable moving the files. After you're comfortable with creating folders and moving files, challenge yourself by creating subfolders and converting files to different formats. In your Application Files folder, create 2 subfolders for resumes and cover letters. Move your resume and cover letter to the appropriate folder. Convert each file to a PDF and make sure it is in the appropriate folder. Close all windows. Try opening your resume by using the Windows Search tool and browsing with File Explorer. You got this.